Yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. All right, we are live on YouTube. How is everybody doing today? It is another beautiful day here in Redwood City, California, where I live, and I'm out and about on another walk. Another Walking with Purpose live edition happening here today on the Coach Eli, Elias Melas channel. I hope you are all having a great day, and I hope things are going your way, or at least going your way as best as possible. And if things aren't going your way, keep pushing forward, keep on trying, and never give up on yourself, because eventually you will get everything you want in life. You will eventually reach satisfaction, and you should always be satisfied with anything and everything that happens each and every day, regardless of what happens, because you should be happy within yourself, regardless of anything. Happiness stems deep within. And I really wish that more and more people would learn to understand where true happiness really comes from. It comes from yourself deep within, and how you see yourself and how you feel about yourself. And like I always say, the only opinion of yourself that matters is your own. If more and more people just learn to have self-love and self-respect and self-appreciation, and I say this in a very humble way, don't go out there acting like you're, the shit or the greatest thing since sliced bread. But you have to internally always feel love deep within in order to be truly happy with yourself. No one else can make you happy. Only you can make yourself happy. But you can share your happiness with other people, and in turn, they will share their happiness with you. Food for thought, right? Have you ever thought about it that way? Hey, Coach J-Rom. We're playing that first game again, right? I remember those days when I first came out here on YouTube full time. And it was always who can get to the drama shit show first, right? And we would always put first in the chat. I would always try to compete with this other guy that had a username of NYC Korean MGTOW. This was back before we even knew about you, J-Rom. You came into the scene probably about 3 years ago, I would say. But yeah, my history with all this goes back 5 years. As a matter of fact, that NYC Korean MGTOW guy was the guy that, I'm not going to mention names because we've moved on, but was the guy that made, one of these creators aware of me that still is infatuated with me to this day. But enough of that. Have a great topic for you here today, folks. This is a very, very important topic. It is a topic that each and every one of us are struggling with each and every day. And if it wasn't for the device I'll be discussing here today in the topic, I wouldn't be able to be broadcasting live right now. But this device that I'm broadcasting live from right now can do much more than just broadcast live streams on social media, such as platforms like YouTube. And we'll wait a little bit. We'll wait a little bit for some more people to come in the chat before we get this rolling. Let's hold off on getting this going for a little bit. But in the meantime, I wanted to ask you folks in the chat. This is with no disrespect to women. This is just an honest question. I know Coach J-Rom is here. Maybe a few others have joined that are ready to chat. We live in a very innovative world, and technology, especially modern technology, has changed the way that we live our lives and continues to change the way we live our lives each and every day. It keeps on advancing. But if you had to pick men or women, which of the sexes is more innovative in your honest opinion? This has nothing to do with disrespecting women. Okay, let me make that very clear. This has to do with, which, of the sexes is more innovative in your opinion. And I will share my response after I hear some of your responses. Hey, Midnight Raven, welcome to the show. Great to see you here. Coach Jaron, but I am the greatest thing since sliced bread. Well, I'm glad you have that much confidence in yourself, J-Rom, Coach J-Rom. Wonderful. That's nice to hear. Furthermore, Coach J-Rom says, phones have made my life so much easier, but before them, I could always stop and use a payphone to get directions. Yeah, J-Rom, you and I grew up during those days where, cell phones weren't around. And when cell phones first came out, I think like in the late 70s or early 80s or something like that, or even mid 80s, they were really expensive and they were, either only installed in your car. That's why they used to call them a car phone, right? Remember when they used to call them car phones? And they'd have that antenna sticking on the top of the roof or the back glass, the rear windshield. Or they started to, when they started making them portable, they were the size of a regular home phone back in those days with a cord attached to a briefcase or actually like a briefcase you would carry around that had a battery the size of a brick. So you carry it over your shoulder like a lady carries a purse, and you had this cord sticking out with the phone. I remember when I was younger playing Little League, I was like 12 years old, and our coach was also the sponsor of our team. He owned a printing company, and back then, before things went all digital and printing kind of has gone, for the most part, out of business. People don't print as much anymore. They just use things digitally, right? This guy had a car phone when no one else had one, right? And when one of our players was running late, he would go to his car and call that person or call that kid from his car phone. And all of us other kids would hover around this car because we thought it was so cool. We're like, this dude must be super rich. He's got a phone in his car. Remember those days, dude? I mean, that was fascinating shit back then, right? We go back to the mid 80s, 30 years ago, right? Almost 30 years ago. No, a little over 30 years ago. 85, 95, 05, 15. Yeah, maybe 35 years ago or so almost, right? And we're like, man, this is cool shit. This is fascinating shit. And nowadays, we take this shit for granted. What a difference a few decades make, right? Or what a difference a few decades makes. Yeah. But yeah, what do you think? Or who do you think is more innovative, men or women? Or do you feel that men and women are equally innovative? That's a pretty spicy question, right? Especially in this day and age of modern feminism and radical feminism. I mean this with no disrespect to any of the ladies out there. I just want to be real. I want to keep it real. Coach J-Ron, men for sure, almost all technological inventions and advancement of recent times were made by men. My favorite was bag phones. Yeah, I think I was just talking about that a second ago. Yeah, basically you would carry a brick in that bag, right? And you'd strap that arm around you strap that bag around your arm like a woman with a purse, and then you had this cord sticking out with a big ass phone. I remember those days, man. I mean, it was over 30 years ago, but it seems like yesterday, man. It really does. Look how far we've come. These phones now allow us to access the internet and broadcast live on YouTube and other social media platforms. And meet people for dating and all that stuff, right? We'll get more into that as this show goes on. Probably when I get down towards the end of the first half here, I'm going to have to probably use the restroom. I'm already beginning to feel it, so just giving you folks a forewarning. Also, this is the trail where I typically will get cut off every now and then. The reception's been pretty good here lately, but you never know. If I go off the air for a second, I will be back typically in less than 30 seconds, no longer than a minute. So don't go anywhere. I will share my thoughts, regarding who I feel is more innovative. And I agree with J-Rom. Men are much more innovative, in my opinion, than women. With no disrespect, I'm not saying that there aren't any women out there that have been innovative. I'm not saying there are women, I can't even talk. I'm not saying there aren't women out there that aren't innovative. And I'm also not saying that women aren't capable of being innovative. It's just more so something that men enjoy doing. It's more of a masculine thing to innovate than feminine, in my opinion. Just like a lot of things in the modern world, now that women have equal rights, there are still many, 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 many more things that are more masculine things than feminine things. Even though women are doing them, they are still considered masculine energy types of jobs or things that are being created, right? And, again, like I've said in the past, I'm all for women doing whatever they want to do. There isn't a man on the planet that's, trying to stop women from doing jobs that were only known as jobs that men would do. But the truth of the matter is, most women don't want to do those jobs. They want to flex their muscles, saying, yeah, we can do the same things you can. All right, then do me a favor. Like I've said before, climb up that utility pole or that power transmission line the next time a big storm knocks down the power line and it's rain. Climb up that transmission pole or tower and replace that line while it's raining and pray to God you don't get electrocuted, right? And every woman that I've shared that example with, including my current lady and my exes, they're like, no thank you, baby, you can go do that yourself. That's what I thought, right? Again, I'm not taking away your right to go up there and fix it if you want to, or do a job like that, right? And that's, in my opinion, where women's emotions, which this is normal for women, women's emotions make them come off very hypocritical. Women want to have the same rights, but they don't want to do most things that, their newly given rights over the last 50 years have given them. They want to have their rights, but they don't want to use most of those rights. So I guess it's something that is just there on paper. I'm kind of kidding, kind of not. I do respect women, but the truth of the matter is, men and women both have equal civil rights. That's the important thing. But when it comes to our biological differences and what we're physically capable of doing and other things like that, we're different, right? Again, there's an exception to every rule. And look, I've seen some women out there that are bigger than Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they could whoop my butt. Hey, more power to you if that's the way that you want to live your life as a woman. But most men and women still want to do things and do jobs and help this world in ways that involve their natural biological essence. That's my opinion there. Coach J-Rom says, cell phones started off big, got real small, then smartphones come out, and they started getting bigger again. Funny how that worked. Well, yeah. Well, most smartphones now, if you have like the top of the line Samsung on Android, what's that, the S23? And the top of the line iPhone is the Pro Max. The top of the line iPhone currently is the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and I have the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So the Pro Max is like the top of the line compared to the top of the line Samsung on the Android side, right? And my screen is 6.7 inches diagonally, and the S22 I believe was 6.7 inches, but now the S23 I believe is 6.8 inches, right? And they're trying to make these things as big as possible without making them too big to the point of where you can't hold them in your hand, but they want to be able to give you an experience of watching movies in high definition on the go and doing other things, right? I don't foresee these smartphones getting any bigger than 7 inches diagonally, because when you start getting into 8 inches, you're looking at tablets and stuff. That's just way too big for a phone, right? And it's kind of strange. Actually, not strange, J-Rom. I had the iPhone 6 Plus before I got this phone. I had that phone for 6 years. It lasted for 6 years, and it was still working great. But, you know, I just needed to get a more powerful phone because applications started getting more, you know, processor intensive, right? And they needed more memory. You know, the newer phones have more memory. The iPhone 12 Pro Max has 6 gigs of RAM. The iPhone 6 Plus only had 1 gig of RAM. Makes a big difference in running applications smoothly and multitasking. Give me a second here. But I still have my iPhone 6 Plus. It was a 5.5-inch screen, but the entire size of the phone is the exact same size of the iPhone 12 Pro Max. The difference is now they're doing edge-to-edge screen coverage instead of the screen being placed inside around a border, right? So now they made the actual screen size bigger by not making the phone that much bigger. So, you know, they made advancements, and they made these things, in my opinion, as big as they possibly can get. But I don't foresee them getting any bigger than 7 inches for a smartphone. It would just be way, way, way too big. So yeah, you know, I feel men are more innovative than women, but I'm not going to take away from any woman that has contributed to innovating anything in this world. It's just something that more so men like to do. Men have always risked their lives to build bridges, you know, create power transmission lines, you know, do road work. Every so often you will see a woman doing those types of jobs, but seriously, like, for every woman you see, there's like 100 men, even to this day. Women simply just don't enjoy those jobs. And you know, when I was out of town with my lady the other day, we went over this really short bridge, about 1/8 of a mile. It literally takes about 5 seconds to drive over it, right? And my lady fears those bridges that go over like a lake or something, right? Or like a stream or something. Like some roads in the mountains, they have, you know, a bridge because water runs below it, and that bridge is pretty high up. And she, you know, was fearing like the bridge would collapse, you know, driving over it. And she held my hand so tight. So that speaks for itself. A lot of women are even afraid to drive over certain bridges and structures like that, let alone building one of those things, right? But to be fair, women are also better at some things, at many things than men are. And together, men and women balance each other out. Together, men and women make the world go round, in my opinion. Coach Eli said, my Z Fold 3 opens to 7.6 inches. Yeah, that's the next thing they're going to be doing. I think Apple has been, trying to create an iPhone Fold version, right? Is that Z Fold? Is that a Samsung, J-Rum? It's a Samsung, right? FYI, a fear of bridges is called Gifrophobia. Okay. Wow, interesting. Yeah, my lady says that, she's not afraid of driving over like big bridges like the Bay Bridge or the San Mateo Bridge or the Dumbarton Bridge or the Golden Gate Bridge. Like, these are some of the bridges here in the Bay Area that you cross to go over the bay to get to the other side. It's just those bridges that are in the middle of nowhere. And the ones that are in the middle of nowhere, typically they have no toll or anything like that because they're very, very short. And they were only put in because that would be the only way to continue the road through to the other side in that area. It's those bridges that she feels are not structurally safe. And actually, those are more structurally safe, in my opinion, than the bigger bridges. Because the smaller bridge, the smaller the bridge, the less tension there's going to be on the whole bridge. And you can support it a lot better. When you have a bridge going over, 10 to 15 miles of water, there's a lot more to take into consideration than one little section that's an eighth of a mile. I remember in the '89 earthquake when the San Francisco Giants and the Oakland A's were in the Bay Bridge series, and we had that big 7.0 earthquake here in the Bay Area, and a section of the upper portion of the Bay Bridge fell down on the lower section. And that's when they started to retrofit the Bay Bridge. And now half of the Bay Bridge was torn down and they rebuilt a beautiful, section of the Bay Bridge that's like wide open like a skyscraper. It's really, really beautiful. If you search Bay Bridge or you type, San Francisco Bay Bridge history, you'll see what I'm talking about. Excuse me. Also, coming up later tonight, folks, I'm going to be doing another in-studio stream. And I've got 4 more very interesting Reddit stories. Even more interesting than the ones I did last night. And I'm not even going to talk about the topic or anything like that because I want you folks to go and check it out for yourself. I'm going to try to leave things a little more mysterious, make you do a little work. Because, if I do all the work for you, then you're going to get lazy and probably not even show up, right? But the event's already up. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications. If you're still, deciding whether you want to subscribe to me or not, you can always go to my channel and look at the upcoming live stream and click on notify me, That way you can get a notification for that particular stream only. If you subscribe, bang the bell, and select the notifications, you'll get a notification for every piece of content I put out without even having to think about it. So go and check that out. And that is that. So let's just get right to it here. Let's get to this topic because there's a lot to talk about. Coach Eli says, yes, Samsung. Yeah, Samsung is the best. for Android. And Apple is just Apple. They stand on their own. My iPhone is the only Apple product that I will ever buy. I am a Windows PC guy. But when it comes to smartphones, these iPhones are top notch. Like these, they're well made. And they're just beautiful phones. And they last. They last for a long time. I probably won't wait 6 years to upgrade mine this time. Probably about 4 years. But I could probably get, seriously, I could probably get at least 5 to 6 years out of this phone. It would still be fast enough to run pretty much anything, 5-6 years from now. I mean, for Christ's sake, this thing has I think it has a quad-core processor in there. 6 gigs of RAM. I got the biggest amount of memory that I could get. Memory meaning hard drive space. Memory is technically RAM, random access memory. That's, that's on top of your regular memory, meaning storage, like a hard drive or a solid state drive, which we don't call them hard drives anymore because everything's gone to solid state, and that's what's in your smartphone. But I have 512 gigs of hard drive space on this phone. Now the iPhone 13 has an option to get 1 terabyte, and I think the iPhone 14 either have a terabyte or 2 terabytes. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like how much free space do you need on these phones? Unless you're doing 4K videos and raw pictures all the time, that's like overkill. But it's there if you need it, right? So let's get right to it. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from the San Francisco Bay Trail here in beautiful Redwood City, California. It's about 75 degrees today. This young lady jogging on the trail just passed me on the left, and she went back on the right. Awesome. This is episode number 266, episode number 266. And the topic today is, if smartphones went away, could you survive in this modern world? One more time. If smartphones went away, could you survive without them in this crazy modern world we all live in? What do you think would happen if smartphones went away? And do you feel that certain things would get better and certain other things would get worse? My personal opinion is this. And I've talked about smartphones in the past throughout many various streams, and I may have done some specific topics on this before, but nothing in depth like this. I'm going to go really in depth here today with my thoughts about this, and I'd like to get your thoughts in the chat too. Or if you're here on the replay, share your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, typically within 24 hours. But in my opinion, and based on my usage of the smartphone, it has definitely made my life a lot easier in many ways. Obviously, Sifu Smo, how you doing, bro? I wish they would go away, to be honest. Oh, I don't blame you, Coach J-Rom. And I get where you're coming from. And regarding certain aspects of the smartphone, I agree with you. And I think the aspect that you care about the most is probably similar to what I care about. That's, human behavior. Smartphones have changed the way humans behave and interact in person, and a lot of times they don't even go out anymore. They just video chat and do cyber sex or phone sex, right? And stuff like that, right? Oh yeah, people have used these digital devices to replace human interaction. And that's probably the biggest problem I see. I think that's the biggest problem you probably see. Correct me if I'm wrong. But these devices were not made to replace human interaction. They were made to enhance human interaction. But that's not what's happening, right? Tuning in while I'm watching the Masters. That's cool, bro. Sifu Smo says, hello, J-Rom. Sifu Smo, I may even consider remoderating you again. But I'd like to know, and you let me know, Sifu Smo, are you interested in possibly trying to work together again and doing some shows together? And here's the thing. If you agree to doing shows together again, I'm not going to be concerned with who's in the chat or who comes on your channel when I'm not there. The only thing I'm going to request from you or anyone else, if we do some panel shows together, that while I'm on the panel, anyone involved in a former drama sphere group I used to be involved with, I don't want them on the panel with me, because they're just going to be there to try to derail the show, and I don't want that. And if that happens again, I'm just going to politely leave the stream on anyone's stream. I think Sifu Smo Dion, when we did a couple of those shows, late last year before we parted ways, I think they were really good shows. I think people got a lot of value out of them, and they really enjoyed them. And then, certain people, came in there and do what they always do, sucked you back into the drama, brother. And I'm not blaming you for it, dude, because it happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us. But I'd like to hear your thoughts, Sifu Smo. Folks, please don't forget to smash the thumbs up. Please like this stream. Whether you're here live or on the replay, share it out on your community tabs if you have a community tab. Please also share it out on social media to any group of people or friends you feel would get value from my content of truly helping and uplifting people. Also, if you're here and you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications. My chats, my live stream chats and premiere chats only allow people to chat that have subscribed to this channel. Once you subscribe, you will immediately be able to chat. There is no time limit restriction anymore. I used to set that to a day, but I removed that because I don't want people to have to wait anymore. We were punishing people that didn't deserve to be punished just to try to give ourselves a little added protection from trolling and hate comments and stuff like that, but we've learned to manage that better. So at this point, you subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications, and you can immediately chat in here. As long as you follow my guidelines, that'll also pop up when you first chat, either through mobile or on your desktop or laptop. You'll see that YouTube now allows creators to create up to 3 guidelines regarding their chats. Live, NC is Queen's in the house. NC is Queen says, Eli, hey, welcome to the show, NC is Queen. Let's see. Coach J-Rom says, they have increased obesity, traffic accidents, and overall raised the mortality rate. I will agree with you on that. Sifu Smo says, yes, that's fine. We can definitely work together again. I'd love to do another panel again. Hello, Queen, says Sifu Smo. So, Dion, I just like to kind of see where you're at. Because, obviously, I need to go and unblock you on Facebook and reconnect with you through the chat out there and and we can keep in touch that way. But I'm just curious to know, bro. Oh, is that a bunny? That's a jackrabbit. Where'd it go? All right, we're back. Okay. I'd like to know, where you're at regarding where you want to take your content. Because, I have a lot of love and respect for you. I always have, even when we parted ways. And even my lady thinks you're a pretty good guy. You just, you've gone through some things. And, when I saw you're still involved with certain people that, are a complete distraction to my content, I just had to part ways. And I guess you had your moments, bro. I know you made some videos, and just to show you how real I've always been, Dion. No disrespect. I'm not mad, but yeah, you made some videos and talked some shit about me. And how did I handle it? I ignored you. I didn't respond to you because I don't respond to that stupid shit anymore, dude. It's just a waste of time, right? But I always, felt, hey, maybe one day, if he sees the light and comes back, we could create some greatness together. And lo and behold, I was on another panel last week, and there you were. And here you are. And I'd love to work on some stuff. I just I would definitely like to know, where do you stand with all of this that's happened in the recent past? I'm talking about with, people heavily invested in drama and bringing that crap over to your channel. I did. I was pissed at the time, but I was never disrespectful. Let's connect on Facebook. Well, I'd like to hear you publicly answer that question, Dion. Are you afraid to answer that question publicly in fears that certain people, will no longer be your friend anymore or anything, bro? I'm just saying, we can connect on Facebook and all that. And I'm not getting upset. I'm just saying that I'd like for you to publicly state in my chat, where are you at with this drama? And are you still, hanging around with certain people that are known drama queens and kings? Because honestly, I don't want to be involved in any of that. But I do like you, and I think you have a lot to offer. And dude, you're young. You got a lot of energy, and you're in martial arts. There's so much that we can collaborate on and overlap on. Because part of you being a martial artist is, teaching, men and women to be stronger, and teaching them respect and emotional self-control, right? And only using martial arts when necessary to defend yourselves, right? Because real true martial artists are not going to get triggered at anything. They will only protect themselves or other people in danger when necessary, right? Does that make sense? I'm just kind of, wondering on that. I don't involve in drama anymore. Sifu has more than once made. No, I'm not concerned about what you wrote, J-Rum. I'm not concerned about that guy. It's one other woman. It's one other woman that, her first name is B. Well, her channel name starts with a B, and then she has another letter to her name. The mid 40s woman that has a channel that starts with B. She's also the same woman that has manipulated and brainwashed a longtime good friend of mine, blind and autistic YouTuber RJ Sanford, to not like me or be anti me. Yeah, I just don't want to be involved with, her or anyone she's involved with. That's just the truth of the matter. And I'm sorry to be kind of doing a little networking here in the middle of this show. It's just that, I don't get a chance to, see these people. And plus, some of them are blocked and they want to be unblocked. And, I'm just looking to see who wants to actually move forward and create some greatness this time around. Some people you give second and third chances to, like I did this other woman recently. I'm not going to mention her name. And, you realize that some people are just not ready still and may never be ready. Some people may just want to continue feeding in the drama because they're so unhappy within themselves that they need to whine and complain about their unhappiness all day to make themselves feel better. And I don't want to be around people like that. I want to be around professional, respectful, and mature people. Go ahead and make fun of my tagline, but that's the truth. I want to be around respectful, professional, and mature people. We all have issues. Nobody's perfect. But I don't want to be around people that just make drama that evolves around their miserable, pathetic lives, and they have an audience watching them self-destruct in real time. That there's no value there for me, and there really is no value there, period. I got this thing all to myself. I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to come up to the observation deck. It's a beautiful day. The wind is probably about 20 miles per hour, but it's about 75 degrees and feels like it's 70 because of the wind. This is like a really, really nice day here today. This is absolutely amazing. Beautiful. There are many more things to discuss regarding the good aspects and the bad aspects of these smartphones. There are good aspects, and I'll share those that would bum me out a bit if smartphones went away, if they became non-existent. Folks, that's not going to happen, but we're just talking what if, right? Hey, J. Rob says Sifu Smo. Templar. Hey, how's it going, Templar? I hope Eli and the new GF had a romantic time, reached the next level. Well, bro, we've been together for 7 months. We've reached the next level plenty of times by now, but thank you. Thank you for your concern. How you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Great to have you here. My woman is she's amazing. I'm not afraid to pay her compliments because she compliments me all the damn time. And, it's like I've never been good at accepting compliments because I'm a very humble guy, even though there are a lot of people that could question my humility, but I'm a very, very humble guy. And I'm not really good at accepting compliments, but I'm good at giving them. I don't overdo them, especially when it comes to women. But when they compliment me, I compliment them because I'm like appreciative, And plus, if you overly compliment a woman and she doesn't compliment you as much or at all, then you come off as thirsty and weak and needy, and eventually she'll lose respect for you and leave you. Harmony, build each other up. Absolutely, man. Sifu Smo says, I'm trying to grow my truther and martial arts content. Sadly, I think YouTube has blocked me in the algorithm. And good afternoon, Lewis Fuller. Lewis says, good afternoon, Eli. I know what you want to say there, Sifu Smo Dion. And let me finish reading what you just put out there. I think you should compliment only the girl in your relationship with That's the only woman you should validate, in my opinion. Well, women seek validation, and giving a woman validation is normal. Seeking your woman's validation or a woman's validation is not normal for a man. Men are certain, decisive, and you know, we don't need the validation of anyone to be men. That's masculine energy. Feminine energy is growing through praise. You know, it's seeking validation and getting validation. That's how women are. It's normal. That is normal behavior for women. And yes, you should, if your woman's a good woman and she's good to you and she seeks your validation. And when women, come out there and give you compliments, they're seeking your validation. That's totally normal, right? And then you give it back to them and say, baby, I love you too. Or, you are amazing. Yes, But let her come to you first. Let her come to you first. Let her always, most of the time, at least most of the time, initiate that. Start walking back down. Dion, here's the thing. When it comes to your YouTube channel, no, you're not blocked and nobody's shadow banned or anything like that. I'm going to tell you what's going on with your channel because the same thing has been happening to me, and I've been trying to pull away from it for the longest time. This is what I've been trying to tell you and many others that have been involved with these drama groups. Okay? YouTube is recommending your content to these drama groups because you make videos on them, they make videos on you, and YouTube sees all of you, all those drama groups, and you as related channels. Right? So that's the reason why your content is not getting recommended to the audience you want it recommended to. The only way to turn that around is to completely ignore these people, stop making videos on them, ignore them, move on with people like myself or other people that are non-drama people, and that will start to retune the YouTube algorithm, the YouTube recommendation system to move away from recommending your content to the drama people and then recommend it to the actual audience you're trying to seek, right? Does that make sense, brother? So, I understand how discouraging it can be. Because, yeah, if you talk smack about these drama people, you may get 200-300 views. It's the same thing for me. When I go back to my regular content, I get 100-200 views if I'm lucky, right? And that's because that drama audience doesn't want our real content. But it doesn't mean there isn't anyone watching our real content. There's just fewer people, right? So if we remove the drama people and focus on the people that want our content, eventually our audience will shift to the right audience. And the right people will start getting recommended our content. But it's going to be slow for a while, bro. You have to hit the dirt like I have. Hit the pavement. You have to grind it hard. Not in the way it sounds. Don't take me out of context, all right, Dion? You're not going to take me out of context, right? When I say grind it hard, you know what I mean, right? Lewis Fuller just gave a like. Thank you so much, Lewis. Templar says, women need validation, men do not. So true. A great woman will banter your thoughts, in my opinion. Man you up. And my woman does that all the time. And that's her job as a woman. I'm not trying to tell her what to do. That's just female nature. That's what women do when they love their man. Right? But when the woman does things for you, that's when you validate her. I know it sounds weird. I've said this before. I'll say it again. But you reward women for good behavior, right? When your woman's behaving properly, you take her to dinners, you take her on vacations, you do all the nice shit, right? You have good sex, you do all that, right? And when she's out of line, you call her out and say, hey, I didn't sign up for this shit, I didn't sign up for this. I don't like this attitude, right? Do you want to keep up this attitude and we cancel our weekend getaway, or do you want to have a fun time this weekend? Well, I'd rather have a fun time than get rid of that attitude. We can have a great time. And women know they're being out of line. What they're doing is they're testing your strength as a man, right? Because every time, look, my woman's the sweetest woman in the world, but she's got attitude at times, right? I'm sure your woman does too. You know, Dion, all women can get an attitude, right? But my woman was born in New York. And she was there until she was like 3 or 4 years old, but she still learned, the New Yorker attitude, right? And her mother lived there longer, and she got the New York attitude from her mother. Oh, and I don't know if you heard, Dion, I met my woman's mother the other day. I took both those women to lunch. And I was like, holy shit, my woman's a spitting image of her mother. In every way, including attitude and verbiage and all that. I was like, wow, my God. Am I gonna survive this shit? I'm like, oh my God. But I did. I was cool, calm, and collective, right? Both those women, especially her mother, tried to derail my masculine core, right? And I sat there and I just said, nice to meet you, and hey, it's all good, right? Her mother was testing me to see if I was strong enough to be with her daughter. And boy, that was the most difficult shit test I've ever experienced in my life. And thankfully, I have all this experience at age 48 to know how to handle this. Because if I was 20 years old and I faced a meeting of a mother like I did with my woman, I would have ran for the damn hills. I'll tell you that. Like her mother's cool, don't get me wrong, but she wanted to make sure I'm the right guy for her daughter. And it's all good. Now, a few days later, everything is all good. Everything is good. Her mother's good. My lady's good. And things are moving forward in a positive way. The moms are always crazy. Oh, yeah, dude. Well, you live in New York, bro, so you know that. I've lived in California all my life. We're laid back out here, right? But don't get me wrong. People still have attitude here. It's just different, right? But I've learned how to deal with, women with attitudes and people with attitudes in general, and I just ignore them. I just, I sit there, let them yell, wait till they're finished, and then say, hey, I didn't mean to upset you. I'm sorry about that, right? Deep down inside, you feel like wringing their damn neck, right? Because it's like you don't want any drama, but you stay cool, calm, and collective, and you diffuse the situation. That's masculine energy. Let the women have fun with their drama, and let the women scream at the top of their lungs and blow their lungs out. You as a man sit there and be cool, calm, and collective, because they need your emotional strength. That's what men provide to women, is emotional strength. And if you're weak as a man, it's going to make them even more angry than they already are. You got to diffuse their anger with your masculine strength, right, Dion? Cool, calm, and collective. Yep, good women will Schmidt test you constantly. I like how you put that. Don't worry, that word's not a block word here. But the mods would have to probably approve it. The poop test, right? Yes, absolutely have to reward her for good behavior. Amen, says Sifu Smo. Oh, I see, brother. Thank you for the insight, coach. That's what it is, Dion. Dion, when you associate with a certain group of channels, YouTube's going to batch all your channels together as related channels. And that's going to be your audience. And they're going to recommend your content to that audience. And that audience is so limited that you're not going to grow past a certain point, right? That's why, if you've noticed, these drama groups, they never grow past a certain point because it's not sustainable long term, and there's really no upside to it, and they have huge turnover. The turnover rate in these drama groups is insane. So you will never grow past a certain point. and have anything sustainable the longer you associate with them in any way, shape, or form. And to see, this is what I was trying to tell you the last time you were around. Hopefully this time we can make it happen, because it'd make me happy, you'd be happy, and it'd make my woman happy as a bonus. And I think we could have a great time. I think, Dion, you and J-Rom and Jonathan Tuttle and some other guys, we could get on a panel on Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Live Streams, right? Or on your channel or J-Rom's, or we could switch it up, right? What we could do is like, J-Rom, myself, you, Dion, and JT. We could do like a weekly show or something where we talk about male issues and how to be a better man or something like that, right? And each week or so, we switch it up on one of our other channels. 1 week on your channel, next week on mine, next week on J-Rob's, next week on JT's, right? That's the way to do it. And then guess what? We become related channels. And now, we're no longer related to the drama sphere, and our channels get recommended to the right people, right? Sifu Smo, I'm done with the drama. Somebody screenshot that, please. Come on, Dion. Dion, you're really done this time? Dude, you know I have love for you, bro. You know I'm not trying to give you shit, brother. You know I have a lot of love for you. But so many times I've heard people say, I'm done with drama, I'm done with drama. And next thing you know, one of those ladies comes on your panel and then says, why are you letting Eli control you? Why are you letting Eli take over your channel? Why are you letting Eli ban everybody? Because you're all worthless. You're a waste of our time. The man wants to grow something real and sustainable, and you're holding him back. You see, Dion, until you realize that these people that have come on your panels before and have said that Eli is trying to control your channel and Eli's trying to do this, trying to do that, they're the ones that have hindered your progress, brother. But see, maybe it took this for you to see it. And if that's the case, I respect that, because we all have to go through it to see it for ourselves, despite what anyone else tells us or shares with us regarding their past experiences, right? I haven't shown some planes in a while. Oh yeah. It is Friday. Beautiful, right? Reception has been pretty good here lately. I'm pretty impressed. Now that I say that, I'll probably get cut off in the next few minutes. With luck, right? Templar, Royston of Vessi. You are worthless. Love it. Full Metal Jacket style. Right, bro. Templar, you're pretty cool, man. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you, man. I really wish some people that you also support would stop whining and complaining about themselves and feeding in the drama each and every day. So many good people on this platform that are so talented, right? And they try to create greatness, but then they keep getting sucked back into the drama vortex, right? Anyway, let's get back and discuss what we were discussing, and I will answer questions in the chat as we continue, or as I continue here. Gosh, lots of planes coming. This is nice. I'm trying to show you a different type of scenery or a change of pace here with some planes. Oh, yeah. That plane is just gliding at a slow speed. Beautiful. You and J-Rum are great people. Well, you're a great dude too, Dion. I've never thought otherwise, bro. I've never thought that you were a bad guy. I just didn't want to continue working with you if you were going to let those people come on in there and do to you what they said I was doing to you. The funny thing is those people infested your channel, right? But then they told you that Eli was the one that was doing that. Basically, what they told you I was doing, they were actually the ones doing it to you, bro. Do you see how they flip it on you? Right? I had to learn this myself, bro. Now, you can flip it on them. Right? And just move on and ignore and block them all. I mean, I'm not going to tell you to block them. I don't tell anyone what to do anymore. I don't even care if those people are in the chats, you know, when we do our shows. But I wouldn't want to be on a panel with them. I will not be on a panel with any of the drama people. Leave them in the chat. Let them talk all the smack they want. But if they come on the panel, they're going to derail the show. And I'll just leave because I don't have time for that. If they want to be in the chat and give you views and talk shit, I don't care. You know? So you don't have to ban them. I suggest you do, but that's on you. But I'm not going to, you know. You don't have to ban them. And if I become a mod there on your channel and you become a mod on mine, I won't ban any of them either. They can just burn themselves, bro. Or you can choose to ban them yourself. It's your channel. Your rules. So, cell phones, smartphones. How have they benefited me? What is the benefit of having one of these things? Or what are the benefits, right? So for me, I will tell you the thing I really like the most about my smartphone. The thing I like the most about my smartphone is being able to connect it to my car through Apple CarPlay. If you have an Android, you can use Android Auto. That's the Apple CarPlay version. Same thing as Apple CarPlay on the Android side of things. And what I really love is the navigation on the touch screen of the car. My car actually came with two screens. One's a touch screen, and one is behind the other screen, and it shows me average fuel, the range of how many miles are left based on how I'm driving and how much gas my car has, the current trip, how many miles I'm getting, and how many miles per gallon I've gotten for the entire tank. It shows information of if I'm playing Pandora. And then I can, on the main screen, the touch screen, I can actually use Google Maps or Apple Maps or whatever. I like Google Maps, right? It's amazing to me that I can hook up the phone and just basically put in a location, and it tells me the ETA I'm going to get there, estimated time of arrival. It tells me how many miles till I get there, and then it tells me how many minutes approximately till I get there. And it tells me along the way, okay, in 7 miles, you know, exit here, turn right here, right? And you can have the audio on or audio off. I turn the audio off because if I'm playing Pandora, another great thing, you can play your music too, right? With no commercials, right? If I'm playing Pandora or Amazon Music in the background and I have the audio on for Google Maps, every time it gets close to an exit, in 3.2 miles, turn right or exit here, right? And it interrupts your music. So I just turn off the audio and look at the screen. Every now and then I glance at it, and then I can get to where I want to get to. That's what I really like about these smartphones, because back in the days, you either had to know where you were going, which I know where I'm going for the most part, you know, nowadays without a GPS, but I still use the GPS because it tells you the approximate time. It also tells you if there's an accident, it gives you an alternate route. It's very beneficial to me. And that's a great way to use your phone. Nothing wrong with that, right? I'm sure you all agree, right? GPS, fantastic invention. Great, right? Back in the days, you'd have to go to AAA, which I'm a AAA member. I've been a AAA member for over 30 years. You get a roadmap and a tour book, and that's how you got to places. Then, when the internet came out, before smartphones came out, you could go to MapQuest or Yahoo Maps, right, before Google came out, and you'd have to print out directions, right? So this has saved paper, it saved time, with alternate routes, saves gas. I love that part of the smartphone. Music, I love that part of the smartphone. Because before these smartphones came out, we had the iPods and we had MP3 players, right? Before that, we had CDs and CD players. Before that, we had, remember the Sony Walkman, J-Rom, if you're still around, the Sony Walkman, the cassette player, right? I had a Sony Walkman, right? But nothing better than a digital music player because you can put whatever you want on there, and now with the smartphones, you can pay for a streaming service and have whatever type of music streamed to you without even having to clog up your hard drive. All that great stuff, right? Where do I think the smartphones have hurt us? The smartphones have hurt us when it comes to dating relationships. Too many options. Notifications going off the hook. Men and women talking to lots of men and women. Both men and women, whether they admit it or not, are both going on these apps to get validation. They want to see how many people they can get and connect with, right? Now, on one hand, what smartphones and the internet have done in the dating world is allowed us to open our horizon, because my lady lives an hour and 15 minutes away from me. Had it not been for the internet and Match.com, I would have never met her, because she's literally about 70 miles from me. So I'm grateful and thankful for that. I don't think that's a bad thing, as long as you know how to use dating apps properly, but most people don't. Most people, use dating apps for validation, and they get consumed with all the attention, and then they have a hard time settling because they're getting so many connections and they're getting excited, and their egos are being boosted, and it's just changing the way that people are behaving. Now, can you have success on dating apps? Yes, if you know what you're doing and you stick to your plan and you don't get consumed by it and you're looking for just one person, you can. Just like I was looking for one person. I had to talk to a lot of women to get to her, but I would speak to one person at a time. And every time one didn't work out, I kept on trying until I came across my lady. Now I found her. Now I'm invested in her. She's invested in me. But I didn't let this online dating world or dating app world consume me. And that's where I see one of the biggest problems are at. Also, kids in, grammar school and high school. Back in the days when I was in grammar school and high school, we would hang out. We would go over to our friend's house, or they would come over to ours. Or we would go out and, socialize on the weekends and stuff, right? We would ride our bikes over to their place and stuff. Nowadays, we sit at home and we FaceTime each other, right? Or we talk on the phone or use a video, chatting service like FaceTime and other aspects, and we satisfy each other virtually and digitally in the ways that we should be satisfying each other in person. We've basically taken the real world and put it all on the damn smartphone. I think where smartphones have really, really harmed us are in the personal touch. I think they've harmed the way we interact with people in person. Starting with the millennial generation, I've seen a huge decline. With people that are, social type of people. I've seen a tremendous increase in socially awkward people. And that's because you guys are all doing everything online. You're not socially awkward online. You feel comfortable communicating with people online, but then you take it into real life and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I've never done this before. Oh, this is a real person? This is just not a digital character? Yeah, it's a real damn person. Have a conversation with them in the same way as you do online, but just take it in real life. Make it a reality. Let me reset the chat here. All right, we're back live. We are back live. Before I get to the chat again and share more about, can we live without smartphones? If smartphones were taken away, could we survive in this modern world? My lady sent me a text behind the scenes. Good afternoon to you, sweetheart. I hope your day is going well at work. Hope your boss is being good to you. Hope the customers are being good to you, etc., right? My girlfriend says, when I was talking earlier about some things regarding women, not true, baby. I can be 110 pounds and kick any man's ass if I have to. And she ain't kidding. Because, she's tiny. But she grabbed my hand the other day and I'm like, oh boy. I knew exactly what technique she was using. Her ex-husband used to be and is still a cop. And her ex-husband taught her the cop techniques of using certain pressure points, which will give you an abundance of strength over any perpetrator, no matter their size. I knew what I was doing because I had a friend of mine that was going to become a highway patrolman, and he went through, the academy and all that, but then he changed his mind and did something else. But he taught me, he was showing me, how you can disable anyone that's attacking you through various pressure points. So even if you're not, as physically strong as someone, if you learn those techniques, you could pretty much disable anyone from harming you or even break their arm or anything. It's all based on the pressure point thing. So yeah, baby, no, I respect you for that. That's all good. You know how to defend yourself, and I respect that. And that allows me to sleep more at night when I'm not around. Because if you're out and about in your area, if something were to happen to you and I'm not there, you can take care of yourself. So I do respect that. Here we go, it all caught up. Just to let you know, I'm following you on your YouTube channel, Coach J-Rom. Awesome, Lewis. Improve, overcome, and drive on with the mission-wise words, Templar. I know I've been a prick in the past, but I think I finally found my focus. Thank you, Sifu. I appreciate it. Let's see. Pretty view, says Lewis. Templar, Coach J-Rom, adapt, overcome, improve. Or improvise, I mean. Coach J-Rom, improvise, overcome, and drive on with the mission. Wise words, Templar. I think I read that earlier. I'm just scrolling down now. Lewis Fuller, just... Okay, I already read that. Sifu Smo says, no problem, J-Rom. I've been on the panel with you on Haters Inc., a channel you have always been a good dude. Coach J-Rom, thank you, Lewis. Says Coach J-Ram. Lewis Fuller says, you're very welcome. It is my pleasure. Coach J-Ram, I remember that was a very interesting show, to say the least. Haha, says Sifu Smo. What happened on that show, guys? I used to get trolled by that guy, and he probably still trolls me every now and then, but I don't care. It's not a big deal. Coach J-Ram, I had a Walkman before they came out with cassettes. LOL, that's funny, bro. It was just AMF. Oh, yeah, that was called the, yeah, it was still a Walkman. It was the AM/FM, and then you wanted to get the AM/FM and stereo cassette. Yep, Coach J-Rob. It is an Army quote said by my drill sergeant to Templar. Templar says that Coach J-Rob, awesome. I regret not doing a few years service myself. Coach J-Rob says I regret not making it a career. Well, you're probably making a lot more money, J-Rob, and you're doing something you love, but I get it. You love your country. Facts, Coach, says Sifu Smo. He will be right back, says Lewis. That Coach J-Rob, it ain't the same anymore, buddy. It's hard to know who are the good and the bad guys these past few decades, but the mental and physical training and camaraderie is beautiful. Lewis says, yes, you're back. Thank you, Lewis. Coach J-Rob, the only online dating I've done was Craigslist at 35. I met a 19-year-old psycho. LOL. But you probably banged her, right, J-Ron? Sifu Smo, I've used Tinder in the past, but all I got off Tinder was one night stands. But you still had fun, huh, Sifu Smo? Lewis Fuller, the best place to disable a male is between the legs. Ouch. Well, that's great, Lewis. I've got some people coming. So I think dating apps have tremendously affected the way we date, and they've made dating more difficult than even before smartphones came out. Even when dating sites were just on a laptop or desktop on a regular computer, you still had to log into your computer to check your email and to check your messages on a dating site, right? Like Match.com was around, right? And many other sites were around, like eHarmony, but you had to go on a laptop, right? And I'm not going to say it was incredibly easier to get women before dating went to the smartphone, through smartphone apps, through dating apps, but it was easier because there were less notifications. Well, there weren't notifications. You had to log on to get them. You know, it was, nowadays, a man and woman's phone's going to go off even while you're on a date with someone. You're getting messages from someone else. And it's so damn distracting, right? That wasn't happening back then, right? It was much easier to focus on one person when online dating, was just online dating before we got smartphones, and then all these online dating sites got dating apps, and then it made it instant gratification. And it made it a point of where we're just too damn overwhelmed to focus on one person. And always wondering, okay, if we're already with someone, is there somebody better out there, right? That's not me. I'm happy with my lady, but I know many other people out there. Even when they're dating someone, they've got their dating apps still seeking out other people and stuff, right? That's what the smartphones have done. That's what dating apps have done. That's part of the smartphone I don't like. Now, when I was looking for my lady, do I like the fact that if I was communicating with one lady, like I was with my lady before we met through Match.com, and we were communicating, and the dating app would tell me when she would send me a message right away? I did like that, but I've also been one that's been able to control the madness, right? Most people can't control the madness, right? When I'm focused on one good woman that I'm truly into, it doesn't matter if I get 10 other messages from 10 other women. And the truth of the matter is, babe, I know you're listening. Like, there were a lot of women I was talking to, and you were probably talking to other men. It's the way it goes. But you stood out to me over all the other women that were messaging me at the same time because of your personality and the way you carried yourself. And I thought you were really super sexy too. That doesn't hurt. But that's just not, I mean, being super sexy is not good enough. That'll get you in the door. What's going to keep you there? It's how you were showing up, how you were communicating with me. You were consistent. You were sweet. You were honest. You couldn't wait to meet me. You showed excitement. And that's why you got my attention, right? But see, I'm the kind of guy that can, filter that lady that I'm with today out of a crowd of 10 other women that are fighting for my attention, and then completely just say, okay, I'm done, right? I'm not even going to respond to them. I'm done with the app. It's over, right? But most people can't do that. Yes, I did bang her. The best, comes attached to the craziest woman. Come on, bro. I figured you would. And like you said, like you've always said in the past, you probably didn't use a condom because you never used a condom, right? That's why you have all the kids, right? Maybe you did the pull and pray that time, huh? Jerome, the thing I gotta tell you this, Jerome. What I respect about you is one thing you're a lot like me on is you're brutally honest. You get into detail, man. You get into details. Templar says there's basic things. Self-improvement mentally and physically. If all you are doing is learning to play the game to get laid, you won't find a long-term partner or long-term happiness, in my opinion. Well, Templar, you're absolutely right. I appreciate you saying that, because here's the truth of the matter. Okay, if you're a guy, getting a woman for whatever reason, whether it be a one-night stand or a relationship, you have to have it takes the same game, okay? So you got to play the same game. It's not even, I don't even want to call it a game, but that's what it's referred to as, right? So you got to have game regardless of what you want with a woman, as a man, whether it's a one-night stand or a relationship or friends with benefits, right? You still have to be attractive to the woman. And that, I'm gonna spoiler alert, I'll share with you folks what the main topic of my stream from my studio is going to be tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be regarding a woman, saying that, most men, don't take care of themselves or, don't show up looking nice, in person when they hang out in person. I can't remember the exact title. But it's basically most men, don't, dress nice and don't smell nice. And in essence, the woman, I'll give you a little part of it, and I'll share more tonight. Women take forever to get ready because they want to look good for the man they're going to meet, right? And they know if they don't look good, the man's not going to be attracted to them, right? So why can't the woman look for the same thing in a guy? A lot of guys think, oh, just because I have money and this and that, I can show up looking like shit and she'll still want me, but I still want her to look hot, even if I show up looking like crap. Nope, it doesn't work that way. And I'll share more about this tonight again, but like my lady, was telling her mother the other day, Eli took longer than I did to get ready because he wanted to look nice to meet you. And she was talking about that with her mother yesterday after we had come back, and then she told me on our phone call last night, right? And they were kind of laughing at it, right? And yeah, maybe I do take longer than a woman to get ready, or as long as a woman. But you want to know what? I take pride in looking good, and it makes me feel good. And to my lady, she never complains, right? But I bet you, if I stopped putting in the effort to take a little longer to look good and feel good, I bet you she would not like that, right? So guys, take a little extra time to get ready. And buy some nice clothes, wear some cologne, wear deodorant, groom yourself, right? Use some nice soap. Don't just get the cheap ass soap. There's really good hydrating soap you can get today for men. That keeps your skin hydrated. It'll smell nice. It'll keep your skin nice and soft. I'm telling you, it makes a lot of difference, right? And I do all this for myself, but my woman compliments me on it all the time. And I'm like, baby, I appreciate it. Not a big deal. I just, this is just me. I just want to be healthy and take care of myself as best as possible, right? And she does the same thing. Coach J-Rob says, what some people don't realize is the grass is green where you water it, and if it is greener on the other side, it is likely it is fertilized with BS. You're right. Yeah, they call it the GGOTS. The grass is greener on the other side syndrome. Grass is usually not greener on the other side. And that's the mentality many people have when they use dating apps on these smartphones, right? They always think there's a better option out there. They never settle for anyone because they have so many options. They just want to explore all of them. And the truth of the matter is, if you're truly looking for one person, nothing wrong with filtering through the people you connect with. But once you find one that is into you, you're into her, and you're both physically attracted to each other, you like each other's personalities, you emotionally bond, you mentally bond, why not focus on that one person? And then you go on a date. If that works out and you go on a second or third date, at that point, if you continue seeing each other, what the hell do you need the other people for, right? But even while you're trying to find that one person to go on that date with to hopefully lead it to a real relationship, you've got to filter it down to that one person and take the time to get on the phone with them, have an hour or two long phone conversation, and then meet as soon as possible and see where it goes. A lot of people get just too wrapped up into the abyss of abundance, right? We're getting all these connections. We want to, like with guys, okay, wow, I got 20 chicks that are connected with me. They all want to meet up. Oh, man. Do I try to manipulate all of them and meet up with them one by one over the course of a few months and bang them all just to have fun? No, I just want one that I can bang all the time and have, a life partner and have someone to share my happiness with, and they can share their happiness with me, right? I'll tell you, it even got overwhelming for me before I met my woman. And in the past, being on these apps, it gets overwhelming. And the only way to not, get overwhelmed by it is to not let it overwhelm you. You got to know what you want, go in there, get what you want, and then get the fuck out. And that's what I did. I went in, I found what I wanted, and I got the fuck out, and now I'm happy with her. And I enjoy her company. And I enjoy speaking with her daily. And we communicate throughout the days. She supports my purpose and I support hers. We are equally supportive of each other. I don't need anything else. Heck, even if I wanted something else, which I don't, I don't have the time because, between what her and I do for a living and other family obligations and friends, right? And then spending time together, there's no time for anything else. Templar says, at Coach Eli, I'm exactly a major problem in a long-term relationship, and with so much temptation these days needs to be addressed and fixed, in my opinion. It's because we have too many options that are instantly given to us through these smartphones, right? Another good aspect of the smartphones is being able to get your email on your phone, on both Android and on Apple. They have email programs, just like Microsoft Outlook. When these smartphones came out, they have their own built-in email program. You can add as many emails to the program, and you could check all your emails in one shot. Like on the iPhone, you can check all mailboxes all together, or you can go through and individually check them all, right? You just have to set them up, right? It's kind of like an email program like Outlook. Instead of having to log into a website to check your emails, right? So I appreciate that aspect of the smartphone, to be able to quickly at a glance every so often check all my email boxes, skim through because a lot of it is spam, and then hit one button and mark all as read if none of them need to be responded to or attended to, or I can flag certain ones that I need to get back to, right? So that's a great thing. That is much, much easier than having to log into a laptop, right? Now, I still use Microsoft Outlook, but I don't respond to most of my emails through Outlook. I do it from my phone usually. What I do on Outlook is that it downloads all my emails. Every so often I'll log into Outlook and I'll download all my emails from all email accounts, and it stores all my emails as backups, right? I've got every single email ever sent, I sent and received, stored in an Outlook file. Well, it's multiple Outlook files because over the last 20 years I've been using Outlook, and I've had to, offload that Outlook file because between a lot of attachments and stuff like that, those Outlook files can be like 100, 150 gigs, 200 gigs. But I back up all my emails because you never know when you're going to need to refer back to those emails. Templar says, I'm on a higher ideology. Play around when you are young, then find one. Then monogamy for life. Have kids, get old, finish each other's sentences. I agree, Templar. You're right, man. You have a great attitude, bro. What was I going to say? When I was younger, I've always been a one-woman man. I've never been a one-night stand kind of guy. But when I was younger, I was more of a sissy, more of a beta type of guy. I would put women on a pedestal. And I thought I was taking my relationship seriously, but maybe I wasn't. But when I got into my mid to late 20s, especially early 30s. By the time I hit my early 30s, I think nowadays in the modern world, men don't really have their shit together until they're in their early 30s. And even if you are making decent money and all that in your 20s, which I was, I didn't, mentally and emotionally have all my shit together, to be able to provide and give to a relationship what is necessary. And it wasn't financially, it was mentally and emotionally. Like, you know, a lot of guys seem to think that, okay, if you have money, you'll get a woman and it'll create happiness. No, money's one aspect. You have to have money to be able to survive, right? But you also have to know how to handle yourself mentally and emotionally and spiritually. You have to show up, you know, being happy and fulfilled and not expecting the woman to fulfill your happiness, right? A lot of people don't get that. And I tell you, when I was younger, Templar, that was my problem. I was so enamored by the vajayjay, right? That, you know, having a woman in my life in my younger days fulfilled my happiness. And that's not attractive to women. And that's not being real to yourself, because a real man is going to have his happiness fulfilled within himself and through his purpose. And when you focus on your purpose and you have self-love and self-happiness through your purpose, then women will be attracted to you. Because they want to be attracted to you because of who you are as a man, not because you're dependent on a woman for your happiness. Women do not want you to be dependent on them for your happiness, but they would like to share. They would like for you to share your happiness with them so they can share their happiness with you. Does that make sense? Let me reset the chat. I'll be right back. There are a couple people here that are probably going to go to the observation deck. And I'm probably just going to turn around because they're going to be up here for a bit. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We've got 5 thumbs up, 10 in the box. Folks, please smash the thumbs up. Got 5 thumbs up. Let's get it up to 10. I don't know what happened to all the thumbs up I was getting. Maybe that was that one woman on that I was trying to work some things out with recently, and I guess she's no longer going to be around here anymore. She used to play games with thumbs up and stuff like that. It's so funny to me that when certain people are around, certain numbers go up, and when they're not around, they go back down. That's all good. I'd rather have things be legit, you know. I don't like it when certain creators play games with numbers and stuff like that. It's stupid. But my woman said behind the scenes a second ago when I checked her text message that you stood out to me. I appreciate that, babe. You stood out to me too, right? Because you're a beautiful woman. You're getting a lot of attention. And I'm not saying I'm the greatest looking guy in the world, but I feel I'm attractive enough to get women. And I have the confidence, right? So I was getting a lot of attention too. And so I had many options, you know. But you stood out because your personality was the best. Your attitude was the best. And, you know, I genuinely felt that you had a big head and heart, right? And I saw your picture and I was like, yeah, I want to bang her. I mean, seriously, that's what guys, look, I'm a good dude and my woman knows this. I've been with her for 7 months now, right? But when I saw her picture, you know, like I saw that picture and I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to bang her. Yeah. That's how we think, right? And even us good guys that want more than that, that's how we first think. And women think the same way too. Oh man, I want to ride that. Yeah, you know, the horsey, whatever, right? But once you see that, then you got to see if the mental and emotional is there. And her and I had a phone conversation, and it was amazing, and we met the next night. We didn't waste any time, and here we are. If something's meant to be, it's just going to go from one step to the other. Boom, 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 boom. Things will happen. And no, we didn't sleep together on the first night. I mentioned this before. We did the second night. We got a nice room. Could have happened the first night, but I wanted to wait and show this woman respect and show to her that yes, there'll be a second time, and I wanted to put some more thought in it because I felt she deserved it, even though it was early on. She really impressed me that much, and she continues to impress me every day, even though I don't expect it. Right? She continues to be the same person. If not the same, she gets better every day. And that's when you know you have a keeper, you have a good one, right? All right, these people are not going to come down. There's a dude up there with his woman. Maybe they're tourists. Folks, get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in about 10 to 12 minutes. Men should be in obelisk with peacock feathers. Women can cry and scream, but you are their empress rock, dishing out words of wisdom only when necessary and in as few words as necessary. But like Eli said, always validate a woman when you can. Well, yeah, you validate her when she deserves validation. Like, if she's not good to you, you don't validate that shit. You call her out on that, right? When she's not good to you, or just not being good in general, because sometimes women will be good to you, but they'll treat other people crappy, right? Now, unless she has a reason to treat other people crappy, I can understand that. But even when other people deserve to be treated like crap, what I always tell my woman is it's not worth feeding into these people. Let them burn themselves, right? We're the stronger ones. We're the mature ones. We're grown-ass adults, right? We don't need to feed into their drama. And the thing is, like I've said before, and I'll say it again, it's true. All women, no matter what they say, love at least a little bit of drama. It's just in their nature, because women, like I've said before, they need to have their emotions constantly stimulated or they get bored. That's the key to keeping a woman happy. You have to constantly stimulate her emotions, right? Because they're emotional beings all day, every damn day, right? That's why, baby, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. We'll talk about it tonight. That's why when we don't see each other sometimes, and you're at your place, and if I'm not there and there's nothing to watch on TV, you get bored because there's nothing that's stimulating your emotions, right? You get bored, baby, when your emotions are not stimulated in one way or another, right? And when you're with me, I'm not trying to say I'm all that, but this is how she is. When I'm with her, she just looks at me and her emotions go fucking ape shit, right? It is what it is. I guess the woman really likes me. But that's the way it goes. Women need to have their emotions constantly stimulated or they get bored, right? And when they're with a guy that is not emotionally intelligent or emotionally aware, right? Or emotionally stable, okay? It doesn't stimulate their emotions in the way they want their emotions stimulated. That dude is still on the observation deck with this woman. Maybe it's a first date. It was quite a big guy. Tall guy, but he had a big gut, and he was with a pretty cute woman. So maybe he's on the first date and trying to make his move, or try to go to a nice romantic walk and then take her back home, and you know what? I don't have to say it. Give her the Vienna sausage, right? Vienna sausage. Never mind, I got that from somewhere in the past. I'm not going to mention it and rehash that. In my opinion, get the urges out of your system, self-love, then think like a man and get what you want long term. Yeah, look, if you're a guy that likes variety, that, does want to have a family and settle down, but, there's so many women and you want to experience stuff. If you're going to go that route, Do that in your early 20s, maybe throughout your 20s. I mean, I don't suggest you go around and banging every woman in sight, but there are guys and gals that do that, right? And if you need to get that out of your system before you can truly commit to someone, so you know you're not missing out on anything, then do that in your 20s, and then in your early 30s get real serious, right? And I did a stream on that, I believe it was yesterday, regarding commitment phobia, right? And a lot of people in their 20s have commitment phobia, or they, are just having fun and loving the incredible amounts of attention. Both men and women nowadays in their 20s, because of these, smartphones and dating apps and Tinder and hookup sites, like, they're having so much fun. They're hooking up with a ton of people. They're having lots of experiences, right? And yeah, it may be exciting and fun, and you're conquering a bunch of women guys, and women are getting a bunch of guys and all that, but at some point, it's going to bite you in the ass. And for women, it typically bites them in the ass right when they're about to hit 30. Because then they're not as desirable for hookups as women in their 20s. Don't get me wrong, there are still guys that will hook up with them, but not the guys that these women want. These women want the Chads and Tyrones. They only get the Chads and Tyrones in their 20s. And then they still try to Chad chase in their 30s, and they're like, oh, nobody wants me anymore. Well, no, the Chads don't want you anymore, ma'am. They never wanted you in the first place. The Chads. How did we ever call the typical alpha male stud that doesn't want to commit and just bang Chad? How did we come up with the name Chad? I can understand Tyrone. I understand where the Tyrone comes from. It comes from the BBC or the BBD. I get that, right? But Chad, how did we come up with the alpha Chad, right? I got to Google that and see if there's a history of that. All right, I'm going to go off the air one more time here and check out the chat. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. Yes, I get it. You try to keep it clean on your channel. Templar says women want to have their emotions constantly stimulated. Yep, that's a big weakness for men. It is. It is. Well, the problem is men don't know, Templar, how to stimulate a woman's emotions, right? They don't know. I think most men realize that women are emotional beings, but they don't understand why they're emotional beings and what it takes to stimulate their emotions to satisfy their emotions, right? And that's what I try to teach out here through my experiences. I had to learn this shit too, man. I didn't understand this when I was, in my teens and early 20s. By the time I started to hit my mid 20s, I started to really understand women's emotions a lot more. And now I totally get it, right? And it's partially about listening to your lady and being reasonable with her, right? And if she's right about something, then give her credit. But if she's not right about something, then call her out in a loving yet dominant way. Because the last thing you want to do is agree with something that a woman says that she knows you don't agree with her on. And a lot of times women will shit test you with stuff like that to see if you'll be honest with them, right? Sometimes they shit test you on purpose. Sometimes they do it subconsciously, usually subconsciously, right? Okay? But women will test you, right? And if they're doing something ridiculous that you know is ridiculous, like if you were to do the same thing that she's doing to you and it's ridiculous and you don't call her out, she's going to think you have no spine. You got to call her out and say, baby, you're being ridiculous. And she might say, why? Because you are. Baby, if I did this to you, if I behaved this way to you, what would you think of me? I wouldn't like it. So how do you expect me to like it, right? Sometimes you got to treat women like a little kid because they act like little kids at times. Why? Because they're emotional beings. I'm not saying that to be rude. They are emotional beings, right? And sometimes they act like a little baby. right? And you got to understand that as a man. You see, these men nowadays do not have emotional intelligence. They don't get it, right? You're right, Templar. Templar, you're phenomenal, dude. You know what? Do you ever go on any panels, dude? We got to get you on a panel if you go on any panels, because I think there would be a lot for you to contribute to this conversation. And if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel too, bro, we can help you. I think that would be amazing. This has been very insightful here today. Folks, get your final questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. I'm going to be going off the air here in a second to reset the chat one more time, and then go off the air, go home, relax a bit, make something to eat, and then get ready for my in-studio stream tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Another great show coming from the studio tonight with 4 more great Reddit postings. These are even better than the ones last night. I'll be right back. Eli, I'm very private and shy, buddy. Thanks for the validation, though. I can be found if you want to connect and chat through Empress. All right. Well, right now, I don't know what's really going on with Janet, to be honest with you. She's in her own world. She's kind of been slipping back into the drama again, and I don't want to deal with the drama. But, yeah, if I find my way over there again, bro, we will definitely go from there. But thank you for being here. Folks, I'm going to wrap this up. We are at 111 minutes, almost 112 minutes. I'd say we're at 111. So we are at an hour and 51 minutes. Hey, Coach, says Sifu Smo. What did you want to say, Sifu, before we go? What's up? I'm about to go off the air, brother. Let me know. I'm going to reset the chat one more time, and I'm going to shut down the show. Let's connect on Facebook. Okay. Let's connect on Facebook, says Dion. I'll connect with you when I get back home. Telegram is where I am. Eli, big up. Okay, I'll look you up there, Templar. Thank you so much. Folks, going to wrap things up. 1 hour and 51, almost 1 hour and 52 minutes. Thank you to everyone for being here. See you all tonight from the studio at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific for another great show. Have a great day, and as always, be good to each other.